Hello, wives. This is Vernetta with Wife. Why Isn't Forever Easy, and we are here visiting you again to bring the wife blog to life. Today's topics are. Wait a minute. I got my phone on vibrate. Okay.
Sorry.
Hello, wives. Welcome again to Stop. Cut. Wait. I tried to get y'all to catch on the last time, but y'all didn't. I want y'all to say why isn't forever easy.
I was there and I got that.
Okay.
Stop wait, cut.
Yeah. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, wives. How are you today? I am Vernetta, and I am here with Wife, and we all know that stands for Why Isn't Forever Easy? We are here to bring the blog wife2010.com to life. Today, our topics are: how do you handle a disrespectful husband? Do you worship with your husband? And do you submit to your husband? Again, I am Wife Vernetta.
I'm wife Angela.
I'm wife April.
I'm wife Ariana.
And I'm wife Teresa.
Okay, and we can start off with the disrespectful husband. How do you handle that? Originally with this topic, and this is on the blog as well, I got an email from a wife asking me, how do you handle a disrespectful husband? One that calls you out of your name, example, bitch. So when I read that email, I thought like, wow, how do you handle a disrespectful husband? And I immediately wrote back on the blog, was he disrespectful before the marriage? Because I kind of find it hard to believe that if your husband's calling you a bitch or, out of your name, how did he just start doing that after you said I do? I feel that he either was doing it before you said I do and you didn't put a stop to it, or like now he's doing it and you're finally maturing, you're finally getting tired of it, and now you don't know how to stop it because he's been in that path the whole time. Or if he started doing it after the marriage, what has changed in his mindset, what's going on with him, that now he's starting to talk to you crazy. So what do you all think?
I honestly I can't relate to that part, but I can relate. My husband's family is as loving as they are. We're not the tightest, and when he's around them, it's, he kind of allows them to, say things, and I kind of always have to defend myself. So I wind up kind of getting smart, like maybe with his mom or somebody, when I'm not a disrespectful person, but I feel like I have to defend myself, because he doesn't. Right. So it's not even so much him being disrespectful to me. I think it's disrespectful that he doesn't defend me or stand up for me. So we have that issue. It's gotten better, but it's still, because we don't see them much, so that's why it's better. Honestly, I think if we were around them, I think they've grown to kind of accept that he is with me and this is who I am. But I think I tell him it's disrespectful to allow them to say things about me, and then I have to defend myself, and I don't want to have to do that. These are your parents, and because in my household, my parents, they love him, and if anybody didn't, they dare not say nothing about him in my presence, and that's just how it is. So I see where she's coming from, not so much, I guess, the bitch thing, but I agree. If he was doing this before, then maybe that was an issue that they should have addressed then. If he just started doing this afterwards, and you're right, like something has happened. Honestly, so quickly we want to blame the wives and say, well, what are you doing to make him, make him call you out your name? And evidently there's something going on with him to be like that. I don't know.
Well, I think also it stems back from how the relationship began. If it started out that way, why would you allow yourself to be tied to somebody that's totally disrespectful to you in the first place? The other thing you need to look at is, who is he around? Is his friends like that?
Yeah.
Do they speak to their wives that way? Or is it something that stems from something that happened in the marriage? Did you do something? Did something transpire where he did something and he's lashing out at you to try to, protect, make himself look like, may have a way of trying to, I've done something, so I'll put it off on you and disrespect you. So those are some key things that you need to think about when you're in a relationship with someone who's disrespectful. I use a very close friend of mine, for example. She married her, you know, she was dating someone that was totally disrespectful, call out her name even in front of different people, and she didn't stand up for herself and then allow her, you know, to say, why are you talking to me like this? Why are you doing this? It wasn't that something that she did. It was just something also that he had seen that he's, you know, his father had done, or people that he had been around, even his friends, you know, talk to their significant other or their wives that way. So what transpired in our home one day was that he talked to his wife very ugly, and then I asked him about something because they stayed with us because their home burned down in a fire. So, you know, knowing my husband the way that he is, he don't, you know, allow people to disrespect him or other people. So he just chose one day to call me a bitch. In my home, he said, my husband walked up and said, son, you may talk to your wife that way and disrespect her, but I don't disrespect my wife and I don't allow anybody else to disrespect her. So you need to look at yourself and figure out why you feel a need to disrespect your wife and why you feel a need to disrespect other women. So there's something within you that you need to change. But he said, you know, I'm just playing with your, no, you don't play with my wife that way. You don't play with any woman that way. So you have to think about, how would you feel if somebody called your mother a bitch?
Yeah. Right.
So you have to think about, you know, so there's some things that lie deep within him, or either some things that he's been taught that allow him to be disrespectful to women. So it can go a little bit deeper than that.
And I agree, and something that she needs to talk about too with her husband. It's good that she wrote in on the blog, but it's something that she also needs to talk about, you know, with her husband, because if she lets it fester, then it's only going to get worse. And if she never says anything, then he's going to think that it's okay.
Right.
And that kind of ties into the next subject of, do you worship with your husband? Because for one, I do go to church with my husband. I even met my husband at church, and my husband has never disrespected me. I mean, of course you argue, everybody argues with your husband, but it has never got to the level where he doesn't curse, but he doesn't even say, you know what I mean, you broad or whatever. So, and I think that goes a lot with the church and worshiping together, because, you know, not saying that because he's a man of God, don't, you know, send me hate mail. But because we do worship together, because he does have a relationship with God, I think that he treats you better because of that.
That's right.
You know, anybody want to chime in on that?
You're valued because he understands the value of a woman. It says it in the Bible. For me, one of the biggest things when I was looking for my husband or deciding on who my husband was going to be, because, you know, ultimately we choose. And it was important because I grew up seeing, like, my parents, they didn't go to church together. Like, my dad, I grew up with him, and we were in the church all the time, but his wife wasn't with him. And to me, it just, I can understand the concept of how does your church family not know your home family? And a lot of women deal with that, where they'll be at church and their husband's at home watching the game, you know? And it's such a divide. I don't understand how you can have a unity in the household and not have that with God. That's, I read something where it was like when a pastor marries a couple, he'll do a tying of a knot, but it's a three-way knot because it's the husband, the wife, and then the father that's in that circle. So it's very important.
And one of the things that I wanted before I got married was a husband that loved God. And I never thought how important it was at 23. I met my husband when I was 23. I never thought how important it was, but now being with him for so long and just being so involved in the church, you see so many women at church without their husbands. And even though their husbands believe in God, they may not just want to come to church. But just the fact that he does believe in God and he is so active. Like I said, sometimes it's me not wanting to go to church on Sunday. Literally like, please, can we just worship at home? Okay. You know, but it is him like, come on, babe, let's get up, let's go. And I can't really say no to the husband, because so many women wish that their husband would go to church.